Hello everyone and welcome back to Planescape Torment.
Try these spices, sir.
Black Abishai.
All over you.
This black-scaled reptile towers to a height of 8 feet. Its great height, however, is offset by its thin, snake-like frame. A long prehensile tail drags behind it, and its leathery wings are hooked behind its back. A strong vinegary smell emanates from the creature, as well as a certain amount of heat. It seems to be ignoring you. Greetings. Whoa, Chief. Mork cuts in before you can speak to the creature. Bar that, you don't want to be rattling your bone box with any fiend on the street. Leave be. Wanted to ask it some questions. No, you don't. Mork glances at the creature, then turns back to you and lowers his voice to a whisper. They're touchy. Let's just go. Alright.
Done.
Kosajai. This toothless old crone reeks of fish and brine. Spying your approach, she gives you a wide pink smile. Fish, my child? Fish heads, mayhap? No fish for me, but I had some questions. She shakes her little wrinkled head. No answers, have I? Only fish. Very well, what do you have to offer exactly? Why, fish, you silly child. Fish of all sorts, and fish heads for those too short of jink for the whole ones. Teeny tiny fish heads, hee hee. Where do the fish come from? They're brought to Sigil from all over the plains, my boy. Would ye like some? I sell only the head, should you be short on jink. I've no need for fish, or their heads for that matter. Farewell. Coral. You see a spindly-looking merchant with a brush of gray and red stubble across his chin. He wears several layers of brightly colored robes, so much so that he looks like a flag with arms and legs. He is shaking slightly as you watch. Greetings. I, Giscoral. He bows and spreads his trampling hands. As he does, you notice his hands and forearms are a twisted mass of black scar tissue, as if they were once badly burned. How did you hurt your hands? Giscoral doesn't seem to have heard you. He answers only with his spiel, delivered in the same flat monotone. Giscoral buy cloth, sell cloth, wash cloth, mend cloth, and... He gestures at his layers of clothing with his shaking hands. Wear cloth? I asked. How did you hurt your hands? Giscoral's monotone breaks. Giscoral buy cloth, sell cloth, wash cloth, mend cloth, and he gestures at himself again, but his hands are shaking so badly that he cannot even finish. Never mind, can I see what you have? Okay. Quick bronze bracelet. Okay. This corpse fly looks like it was frozen. It appears to be dead, but you can't be sure. The magic contained within the charm is activated when the insect is consumed. When swallowed, the recipient suddenly becomes extremely nauseous. A few seconds later, the charmed individual expels a stream of insects from their nose and mouth. Okay.
See the shine on that? See the edge on it? I tell you what, cutter, that'll do you your business.
Okay. Goldfinger bone. Okay, when snapped, the bone charm temporarily strengthens the use of skeleton axe as a ward against breaks or fractures. Okay. This older merchant has a worldly look to him. His deep voice is gentle but confident. Hello there. Are you ready to sample some of the most delectable treats from across the plains, my good man? What do you have? Okay. This dour-faced fellow appears to be selling various hand weapons. Ah, come on over then. Come to see my blades, have you? Yes, I have.
Come in, Basher. Look here, the finest Toledo blade.
Lim. Leave it alone,
Hey,
okay.
we're being watched, Chief. Just look natural. Casual.
Rafira. The grim-looking woman spares you only a brief glance before returning to her ranch on top of the stage. She has a powerful voice that carries across the marketplace, even cutting through the noise made by the merchants and the surrounding foot traffic. Leave her alone? Oh, I've already talked to Craddock.
Can't afford to get cut off.
Requin, this man is looking at you with a strange bug-eyed stare. His eyes are huge, so huge they look ready to pop out of his sockets and roll across the cobblestones. He nods eagerly as you approach, bobbing his head like a bird, and as you near him, you suddenly notice the smell of urine and feces surrounding him. Greetings. The man sniffles, wiping his nose on his sleeve, then opens his mouth to reveal blackened, rotted gums. Stories for coin, sirrah? His breath reeks. It smells like this man has been keeping rotten meat stored inside his mouth. Stories for coin? Who are you? The man snorts thick with phlegm. Names, who are you, who are you? His head does a slight twitch every time he repeats himself. Names, dangerous. He glances at the ground and stirs the dirt with his foot. Dangerous? Knowing a name or being stuck with one, both's a mess of trouble. He looks back up at you. My name's a given name, not one asked for. Reekwind. Once again you become conscious of his reeking breath and the smell of urine and feces that surrounds him. A given name. A given name. An appropriate name. Not my true name. Reekwind mumbles on, his head twitching every time he says name. A true name's a dangerous thing, gives others power. He stares at you with his huge eyes and wags his finger. Keep your name secret, keep it close. Never let it out. What do you mean? Names are like smells, things can track you with them. Reekwind coughs, his eyes almost popping out of his skull as he does so. His cough seems to loosen his bowels, for he breaks wind loudly as if to accentuate his point. If someone knows a true name, it gives them power. He licks his lips. The power to hurt. I don't know my true name.
Journal.
Requin's eyes widen. Seeing his eyeballs bulge even larger makes you uneasy. Then you are blessed, blessed. Remain nameless, and you shall be as a spirit on the plains, untraceable, untrackable, unseen, undiscovered. He smacks his gums wetly. A name chosen, a name given. It allows others to find you and hurt you. Have you been hurt? Requin gives a twitching nod, then scratches himself. Let my name slip once. Once, only once. His eyes film over as if the memory is painful, then glances at you uneasily. Tell you the story I can. I will, but 3 coppers must I see. His face splits into a smile as he says the word coppers, and his reeking breath hits you like a hammer. Very well, here's 3 copper. Requin gets into a stance, looks left, looks right, then faces you. His face clenches, then with a grunt he breaks wind again. The smell nearly levels you, but he takes no notice. Cursed eye! Walk the wards in splendor. He stands up stiffly, nose high in the air. He saunters back and forth, nodding to invisible passerby.
Updated my journal.
Requin freezes, his arms akimbo. Crossed paths with a crossed one. Had the looking of a pumpkin, his seeds. Curses. Requin then thrusts his belly out so as to appear fat, slicks back his hair with his filthy palm so he looks almost bald, and begins drumming his fingers on his fat belly. He then walks about circling the spot where his stuffy, upper-class persona used to be. All a jumble with curses, this one was. With a sneer and a careless gesture, Requin tosses an invisible curse at the stuffy persona. Knew my name. Let it slip I had. All it took it all. He stiffens up again, inhaling deeply and resuming his upper-class persona. Persona suddenly crumples, and Requin breaks wind violently, then exhales, filling the air with his foul-reeking breath. Cursed with stenches, smells, excrement. Came here to tell tales, all good for now. Now Requind is the name, given name. See, I had some other questions. Can you tell me about this area? The hive. Tale I could tell. I will, but 3 coppers now. Oh, god damn it. Razor Angel, the alley dweller, greets you with exaggerated politeness and a deep bow. Greetings, stranger. You've chosen a auspicious day to pass through our lands. The toll will be a mere 10 coins. 10? Alright, here you go. You have the thanks of the Razor Angels. Go in peace, traveler. Thanks, Burke. Farewell.
Done.
Iron nails. This broad-shouldered woman is shuffling about amongst the huge beams lying on the street. Kicks at the beams with iron-shod boots. Every once in a while, she bends down and wrenches a nail from one of the boards with her bare hands. She holds each one up, praising it, then drops it into a leather sling bag. Greetings. She straightens up, hearing your approach. She's smiling politely, but from her stance and the way her hand rests close to the hilt of her weapon, you could tell she's ready for trouble. You notice one of her eyes has a milky film over it. That's close enough there, Cutter. What do you need from me? Add some questions. She nods. Ask away, then. I'm looking for a man named Pharod. He nods. I heard the name, I have. Head of a pack of collectors, or so I hear it. Not sure where a body'd find him, though. You may want to try Ragpicker Square. It's north and west of here. Whole mess of collectors can call Kip there. I see. Who are you? She pulls 3 nails from her sling bag, tossing them, spinning into the air, and catches them in her palm. Iron nails, they call me. She drops them back into the bag with a muffled clink. Why are you collecting the nails? I sell them to a man, named Hamris in the lower ward, maker of coffins he is. Tell me more of this Hamris. There's not much to say. He's a bit chatty. He'll rattle his bone box till you're barmy if you let him, but a fair bargainer. He needs the nails, I need the jink, and that's about as far as it goes. There's the low reward. Yeah, I used to know the way, I did, but the Dabos have changed the streets around again. Don't know how to get there now. I'll need to chart a new path, but I figure the Dabos will straighten things out eventually. Dabus? Aye, Dabus, the lady's servant. She looks at you puzzled. You must be new to Sigil. That's all I wish to know. Farewell. Fare you well too, then, Cutter.
To be with me for hours instantaneously.
Ashmantle. You see a man in long black robes and a pale face. He looks to be one of the same people you saw in a mortuary. But unlike them, this man looks confused and is glancing about. When he spots you, he raises his hand to attract your attention. Greetings. This man seems relieved that you are speaking to him. He bows slightly. Thank you for hearing me, traveler. I am known as Ashmantle, one of the Dustmen sect. I was wondering if you could direct me. I don't know the area very well, and I'm looking for a certain establishment. A bar that those of my sect frequent. I've heard of it. I'd be willing to help you if you'll answer some questions for me. He nods. Your request is reasonable. Tell me where I might find the Gathering Dust Bar, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. The bar you want is by the mortuary. Orient yourself by the mortuary front gate, then walk directly southwest. You can't miss it. The Dustman smiles. Thank you very much, traveler. I appreciate your kindness. People of the Hive are rarely helpful in such matters. Tell me about it. Say, can I ask you some questions? What questions do you have? I'm looking for a man named Pharod. Do you know of him? Sorry, but that name is not known to me. Do you know, I'm looking, can you tell me a little about the Dustman? He pauses for a moment, then nods. It would be my pleasure. We, the Dustmen, recognize this life for what it is, an opportunity to experience our passions before the next life. We sift through the dust of our past lives for meaning before the next. Thanks for the information. Farewell. The Dustman nods and gives a final bow. Thank you for your time. You are about to turn away when you suddenly have a feeling that something is amiss. Suspicious, you glance at Ashmantle again, just in time to see him tucking something into his sleeves. It looks like something of yours. Bait Ashmantle into pickpocketing you again and observe his technique. Haha! Under the pretense of giving him additional directions to places in the Hive, you engage Ashmantle in light conversation, secretly study his movements. Ashmantle seems to rely primarily on his Dustman facade to disarm his victim and uses his frequent bowing motions to cover his pickpocketing attempts. You make a mental note of his technique, just as he makes another attempt to reach into your purse. Grab his hand. Your hand snaps out, but Ashmantle draws back suddenly and you miss grabbing his wrist. You see his Dustman facade crumble, and with a frightened look he runs off. Damn it. Friar of Essanon. Streams of tears have carved channels down this man's dust-covered face. He looks to be a monk or a holy man of some sort, but the dirt covering his body makes it nearly impossible to see the man beneath. He's chanting and rolling his head back and forth. It looks like some sort of ritual. Greetings. The man stops his frenzied chanting and glares at you with his tear-rimmed eyes. He opens his parched mouth to speak, but all he can manage is a withered croak. What's wrong? Why are you crying? His voice is so hoarse that it sounds like he has been without water for days. As you watch, a tear trickles down his face. I am a crier of Estenon. Estenon?
Updated my journal.
Who is that? Who is Estenon? This man throws back his head and gives a rasping laugh. It sounds brutal and defeated. Estenon, it is not a man, but a city. Why do you cry for a city? We cry its name because Estenon must not be forgotten. All the criers of Estenon carry this burden. Mourn a city? Why do you do such a thing? Because its name is all that remains. Its avenues of light, its great spiraling parks. When it was laid waste and reduced to memory, only 70 of its people survived. It was our duty to see that its name was remembered across the plains. Many criers of Estenon have died for the sake of remembering. Many. I mourn the loss of your city and your citizens. Farewell. This foul-looking man is quick to notice he's caught your attention. In moments, he's upon you, hawking his wares. He carries a long wooden pole. Dozens of skinned and cooked rats dangle from it. As he speaks, he gestures to them with a broad, filth-encrusted hand, smiling a yellow snaggle-toothed grin all the while. Oi, Cutter, how you doing there? What sort of delicious ratsies is you interested in this fine day? What sort of ratsies did you have for sale? Good, Cutter, good. What sort would you like? Points to each in turn with a grimy fingernail. I got them baked, spiced, boiled, and charred. All fresh, all scrumptious, and only 3 coppers for 2. But come to think of it, I'm not all that. On second thought, none for me. I had a question, though. What's your question, Cutter? What is that building there behind you? He tosses a glance over his shoulder. That's the Office of Vermin and Disease Control, Cutter. I sell my rat tails there for jink, and cook the little blighters up and sell them. That's all I wanted to know. Farewell. He touches your arm. I see you leaving, Cutter, but before you go, would you like a nice, delicious ratsy? One for the road, you might say? I'd sooner eat my own tongue. The man doesn't seem the least bit perturbed. In fact, he winks at you, smiling merrily. Let me tell you, Cutter, you don't know what you're missing. I'll be here if you reconsider. The man returns to hawking his rats to passerby. Phineas T. Lort, the 39th. You see a squat man with rash-covered skin and several pustules covering his face. His clothes seem to mark him as some sort of an official, but they are dirty, wrinkled, and covered with rat hair. As you watch, he idly scratches himself with his stubby fingers. Greetings. Ah! The little man shrieks and jumps, startled. Clutching his heart, he takes a deep breath and pushes his spectacles up on his rash-ridden nose. Yes, yes? What is it that I can do for you? He scratches his nose and looks you up and down, studying your scars. I have little to nothing in the till, so if you have come to plunder the premises, this locale is ill-chosen. I'm not here to plunder the premises. Who are you? I am the respected Phineas T. Lort the 39th, in charge of this hive branch of the Office for Vermin and Disease Control. It is my distinguished privilege, he scratches his chest and puffs up, to inform you that we, in the bureaucratic sense of the word we, meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, are accepting bounties on all manner of vermin and strays that infest the... He scratches again. Bare streets of Sigil, hub of the multiverse, and the city which sits at the center of all things, the city by which all other cities are measured.
Updated
Bounties?
my journal.
Yes, yes, we in the bureaucratic sense of the word, we meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, are accepting tangible proof of the eradication of brain vermin, aka cranium rats, from the hive area where they have clustered quite thickly for the past many years, as a recent census of the vermin population has shown. I am empowered by the sigillian bureaucracy to pay a bounty of... Puffs up dramatically. 1 copper common per cranium rat delivered to my branch office. Cranium rat? Cranium rats are a species of vermin that become more intelligent the more of them are in close proximity to each other. One cranium rat alone is but a nuisance that chews at boards and burrows into food. But 5, 10, or more, and their intelligence grows until it surpasses even the intelligence of one such as myself. Scratches, then sniffs disdainfully. I imagine that 2 or 3 cranium rats might be enough to outwit you, sir. How many cranium rats are in Sigil? More than enough to last a bounty hunter a lifetime. Perhaps several. I see. Well, thanks for your time. Farewell.
I'm gone.
No.
Looks like my skills have increased.
I'm gone.
Miriam. This old woman stands silently by the wall, staring off into the distance. She seems to be unconcerned with the flow of traffic around her, clutches a wooden pole from which dozens of small fish are dangling. Oh, lo, sir. She squints at you for a moment, trying to discern your identity. Oh my, here I was thinking you one of me regular customers. She proffers her fishbowl. Tuna, sir? Mackerel? Sea cucumber? No fish, thanks. I had some questions. Her mouth presses down to a tight-lipped frown. She stares off over your shoulder. Look behind you, see what she's staring at. You can see nothing of interest behind you. As you turn back to her, you catch her looking at you. She looks away quickly, resuming her staring off into the distance once more. What, do I look familiar to you? Goodness, no! She pauses for a moment. Aye, you do. Have you seen me before, then? I think you're a man with your very likeness, sir. It was so long ago. Tell me. Well, sir, you see, your sight's not so good now. It wasn't back then, neither. But I thought I saw you walking past with a small group trailing along behind you. What do these people look like? Hard to say, sir. It was so long ago and you walked by so quick-like. But I remember now the way you held your head up. There was a woman following you, trying to stop you. To get you to turn around. Speak to her, but you pushed her away. What happened then? Beautiful woman she was. Looked so sad, so angry all at once. She stood there for a moment, then followed along behind you just the same, hustling to catch up. You said there was a group? Who else was there? She shrugs. There was at least 2 other gentlemen with you, sir. The only one I remember too clearly, though, was tall, thin. Tall, thin. Reeked of bub, he did. I smelled him from across the way. Looked like he hadn't bathed in ages, too. Followed you close, he did, and never said a word. Acted like the woman wasn't even there, even when she bumped against him, trying to stop you. That's all I remember, sir. Give us some copper for her time. How much do you give the fishwife? 10. Oh my. My, thanks ye, sir, most kindly. May the Lady's shadow pass ye over. Thanks, farewell.
The thing with me, Alice didn't pay me a thing.
Oh. It crashed. Yeah, hold on. There we go.
What's up? Looks like my skills have increased. What's up?
Okay, there we go.
Done.
Yeah.
All right.
Much as this creature's body is a combination of man and ram, his head is a mix of sorts. The broad flat nose, goat ears, and a pair of curling horns, intricate designs are shaved into his dirty pelt, and a massive four-flanged polearm hangs from his belt harness. He doesn't seem to notice you. Greetings. He turns to face you with startling speed, his eyes dark and suspicious of you. His voice is deep and rumbling, not quite human, and heavily accented. What do you want, Two Legs? His hand is close to his polearm. Only to speak with you, I had some questions. He seems to calm down. His hand drops away from his weapon. He still keeps a certain distance from you, however. What do you wish to ask me? Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? The lady? Looks around as if to see if anyone's overhead. I only know that she rules this place, all of Sigil, and that the locals feel it bad luck to speak of her. They answer me something else. Why were you so wary of me? You seemed sad for a moment. This place, a wretched, unclean place, is full of unfriendly, sometimes desperate people. Not the best place for a visiting barrier, Two Legs. He shrugs. I have business here, Zo, and so here I am. Business? What are you here for? Another time, Two Legs. If we ever meet in a happier place, I shall tell you all about it. Till another time, then. Farewell.
All right.
Quatra. Moving from box to box, this man seems to be totally immersed in counting boxes, scribbling results down on a piece of parchment. He looks annoyed as you interrupt him. What is it now? Can't you see I'm busy taking inventory? Go bother someone else. I didn't mean to interrupt. Farewell.
All right. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Damsel in distress, you see a pretty young woman. Her hair is in disarray and the bodice of her dress is torn. She looks about in desperation and then notices you. Greetings. She runs up to you and grabs your arm. You notice the front of her dress is stained with blood. Help me, Cutter, please. They're killing my sister. She begins to tug on your arm. I'll help you. Take me to her. A look of relief washes over her face. She tugs at your arm. This way, Cutter. Follow her.
Have you got the kid?
Oh, this is a trap.
Die. I'm hurt.
Did you see that?
Mourns for trees.
Got the kid?
See a tired-looking, sorrowful old man who is gazing at the ash-dead tree in front of him. He is mumbling to himself and tapping his chin as if trying to figure something out. Occasionally he shakes his head sadly. Greetings. He seems momentarily startled as you interrupt his train of thought. He speaks in a calm, unhurried tone, but one full of sadness. Oh, greetings to you too, friend. How's this day find you? Does it matter? The man is caught off guard, but then nods assent confidently. Yes, friend, it does. To me, at least. Though that doesn't count for much, it seems. He seems about to turn back to the tree. It finds me well, then. He smiles, but sorrow still lies in his eyes. That's good, friend. Hope your good fortune continues. He seems about to turn back to the tree. And how's this day find you? He shrugs slightly and proffers a bit of a smile. Fortune finds me well, though I'm saddened just the same. Why's that? Pats the tree behind him. It's the trees here, in the hive. They're dying, friend, and no one cares. Seeing the look on your face, he holds his hands up as if to silence you for a moment. It may not matter to some, but it's important to me. I feel it's a shame to see the last tatters of life and beauty in this world left, uncared for, to die. You understand that, friend? Yes, you're right, it's a sad thing. He seems surprised and blurts out. Really? Oh, I mean, wonderful. Perhaps you would... He pauses and seems suddenly suspicious. He recomposes himself, speaking in his usual slow manner. In any case, that's good. I suppose you have some questions for me now. No, not just yet. What is it you were going to ask? For the first time, the man seems genuinely happy. Beaming, he explains. It's difficult for anything to survive here. Just look around and you'll see what I mean, friend. I'm not sure if it's possible for the trees to thrive here, even if they somehow were to get enough light and clean water. Go on. He nods enthusiastically. But if enough people care, really want them to live, I just know they'll survive. They'll turn green again and Flourish. What? That makes no sense. He smiles knowingly, shaking his head. You're new here. I can see that now. You don't understand how things work in Sigil, friend. Belief is everything here. Everything. You'd be right. I am right. I'm certain of it. A sense of conviction surrounds him like an aura. He seems so unlike the man you first spoke to. That's all I'd ask of you, friend. Just care for them. Hope for their recovery. In time, should enough people want it, it will come to pass. Can you do that for me, friend? Yes, I'll help. Excellent, my friend. Excellent. I thank you. You've given me back my confidence, my purpose. Perhaps I can find others like you who will listen. Perhaps we'll make a difference. What about your companions, friend? Would you speak to them on my behalf? Mort, what do you think? Huh? Oh, yeah, Chief. Sure. Whatever you say. I'm serious, Mort. Can you make the effort? Mort looks at you for a while silently, then nods. Yeah, I can. If it's that important to you, I'll do it. Thanks, Mort. Farewell, mourns for trees.
Oi, Norton! Just show it to me. Come on in, buy a drink. See the burning man. He's on fire. You've got to see it to believe it. The burning man, right here, right inside.
Huh? Did you see that? Damn it.
Die. I'm gone.
Come
What?
on inside. Come see the burning man.
Done.
He's on the spit. You'll love it. You, sir, come on in.
Smoldering Corpse Bar. Ignis, this crackling, billowing creature twists slowly above an iron grill upon the floor of the bar. It may have once been human, but now its skin is charred beyond recognition. Streams of fire form a wreath around the creature's body, and the flames lick at the few remaining pockets of flesh, causing them to bubble and run like wax down the creature's skeletal frame. Greetings? Thing makes no response. It writhes slowly within the flames. It lives, but it does not seem aware of anything other than the fire that surrounds it. Its skin is flame, its heart is flame, and you know within some shadow corner of your memory that this thing is dangerous. Examine the creature. The heat surrounding this creature is incredible. To your surprise, the iron grill the creature floats above has sagged and bent from the heat. At first you thought the heat came from the grill, but now you realize it emanates from the creature. As you watch, flecks of ash drift from the writhing corpse and float slowly to the ceiling. Leave the thing alone.
All right.
Ebb creaks. You see a slightly stooped old man with a full gray beard and a lion's mane of gray hair. He wears a couple of shoulder guards as armor, and he keeps a helmet nearby. He smokes a pipe and carries a pouch of tobacco around his waist. He looks pretty strong, but he's a little plump and also appears to have some sort of breathing trouble. Well now, aren't you a sight, lad? Never have I seen so many scars blanketing a fella. Like a scar cloak you're wearing. Where you been? Hanging out in a grain thresher? He laughs. Oh, I'm just jesting with you, lad. No offense meant, and I hope no offense taken. I'm Ebb. He extends his hand. Greetings, Ebb. His handshake is firm. Now, I hereby tender my apologies for the unfair jesting, lad. Hope no hard feelings. Can I buy you a tankard or two of something to smooth any ruffled feathers? Why not? That's the spirit, lad. Bide a moment. He rises to his feet and heads to the bar. After a moment, he returns to his seat with a pair of tankards. Here you go, lad. Drink up. He takes a massive swallow from his own tankard, puffs on his pipe, and says, "What can old Eb do for you on this fine sigil day? I had some questions about this place." Oh, well, I gathered that just to look at you. I mean, you don't look like you're from around these parts, lad. You look a little too out of sorts to be a seasoned native. Eb chuckles, then takes another drink. So, what could I help you with, lad? Need to know the lay of the land? Eb winks. Who are you? Eb Creeknees, third measure of the harmonium. Now retired, being a tout with one's voice since I don't step as lightly as Now retired and being a tout with one's voice since I don't step as lightly as I might these past 2 or 3 decades. Chuckles. Now, lad, who be ye, and what trouble might you be in? What makes you think I'm in trouble? Lad, no one has as many scars as you have and isn't in some sort of trouble, either from himself or from others. Eb looks at you in mock reproach. What do you take old Eb for? Blind? Ha! Look, I'm a little weathered around the edges, but I've still got some sight and sense. Now what's dogging your heels to be causing such trouble? Mayhap I could help you, eh? A few troubles. I woke up in the mortuary and seemed to have forgotten who I am. Yeah? Eb blinks, then frowns. What was that you said, lad? That you woke up in the mortuary? Eb studies you closely. Oh, now, did they mistake you for dead under all them scars, mayhap? Eb chuckles. Can't say I would have been any smarter. He puffs his pipe. Them dusties, he catches himself. I mean, them dustmen. Dusties being a rude term to refer to them pale-faced fellows, and I don't mean them too much disrespect. They have all the perceptions and friendliness of a gravestone sometimes, eh? Can't say I couldn't see them screwing that up. No, lad. That's what I've heard. Had some other questions. Aye, lad, what do you want to know? Do you know someone named Pharod? 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 Eb frowns, takes the pipe from his mouth. Now, lad, what you be wanting with a Burke like Pharod? I think I used to know him. Aye, well, the more's your misfortune, then. Mayhap forgetting some things is better for you, then. Eb puffs heavily on his pipe. What do you know of him? Well, now, I don't know everything there is to know about old Pharod, but I know some of the dark surrounding him. If you're determined to track down that spider and nail him to a wall, then I suppose I could spill some of the chance, so you know what you're tangling with. Pauses, tamp his pipe. Pharod dug his nest deep into Ragpicker Square not too long ago. Got a bunch of collectors and gangs together and started what one could almost consider a collecting faction. Be that as it may be. Where can I find him? Well, lad, if you're looking for Pharod, which I would say is pretty barmy of you, you're a little off the beaten path. You want to be finding Ragpicker Square. Chant is that Pharod set up his kip somewhere in the square. Even an old fellow like me who's been around the ring a few times don't know exactly where. I figure that Pharod wants to keep the dark on his location dark. If you're all bound and determined to find Pharod, go to Ragpicker Square and try and dig up Pharod's location from some of the locals. Try and be careful about it, since there's plenty in the square that would make a gut harp out of you as soon as look at you. I see. Farewell.
I'm gone.
Charms. Oh. Oh, shit.
Chief. Just look natural. Casual.
Dark Alley Shiv. Greetings, stranger. It looks like you're in Dark Alley Shiv territory now. Looks like you've got a purse that could use some lightning. Better pray it's got enough. How much do you need? It ain't much, he says magnanimously. Mere 10 pieces of jink will get you through. It's a deal. Takes your money, pockets it, then says, get out of here now.
Done.
Rotten William. You see a hard-edged man. His face is sharp and confident, yet somehow seems diffused. His eyes are clear and cruel. He seems both indolent and poised, and he holds a knife in his calloused hands. So, another visitor for Rotten William. Speak your mind, traveler, make it good, and perhaps we'll let you go. I'm looking for Pharod. You want Pharod, aye? Well, me pretty. For a price, I could tell you where to find him. How much? He sizes you up. A mere 5 coppers. Fair enough for someone who seems as desperate as you do. Alright, here. Where is he? You can find him near Ragpicker Square. Look for him in... Okay. People have already told me that. Aye, well, you get what you pay for, so what's your business here? I'm passing through. Just passing through, aye? That's a pity. No one passes through here without paying a price of some sort. I already paid that price. He laughs and holds up a hand. Not so fast, friend. That ain't the price I'm speaking of. This is something else entirely. See, there's a Burke running a rival gang on the other side of this alley, and I'd like you to write her into the dead book, in blood. Her name's Crystal. What's in it for me? Didn't I just tell you we'd talk about it when you were done with the slaughter? I meant what I said, Burke. Now will you do it, or won't you? I just want to know what's in it for me. You'll get what you deserve, Burke. Let's call it 200 coins, aye? Do we have a deal? No. How about more than that? 300 then. My final offer. It's a deal. Consider her dead.
My journal.
Brilliant. Come back when you're done then, and be sure you're done. I don't want no whining about how you couldn't. We've made a deal and we'll stick with it. Don't worry about it. You see a cool, collected woman. Her face is set in hard, determined lines. Her voice is low and firm. I am Crystal, leader of these ranger angels. You are in her home. What do you want of me? I'm looking for Pharod. She spits. Wormhair? You find him near Ragpicker Square. Ask around there. You're bound to attract someone to notice. Thanks. Farewell. Before you go, I need a favor from you. This slice of alley just isn't big enough for us in the Dark Alley Shivs. We've got heart. They've got hate. Kill off their leader, Rotten William, and you'll get free passage through the alley from us for the rest of your life. If you come through here often enough, I'll save you a lot of jink.
Updated my
Tell me
journal.
about your gang. We're itinerants. We've been forced to move time and again. We settled here at the same time as Rotten William, the Dark Alley Shivs. Now we're in a fight for our lives. We just charge a simple toll for passage here. They take lives. We're essentially good people. They're evil, led by an evil man. I'll kill him. I look forward to hearing of your success. Come back and tell me when you're done, yes? Good luck.
Updated my journal.
Farewell. You haven't killed Rotten William yet, have you? Pay the 5 coins till Crystal says otherwise. Here. Been a pleasure. Good luck with that bastard Rotten William.
Hey, we're being
Arlo. You see a short, balding man standing in what serves as the foyer to this ramshackle flophouse. His bushy eyebrows are furrowed in concentration as he picks up what appears to be scabs on his large bulbous nose. Greetings. The man doesn't bother to look up. Instead, he continues to stare cross-eyed down at his nose. Yeah, what do you want? Should I rest here? Sure you can, Burke, if you got the jink for it. Nobody puts up here for free, except old Nestor over there. That's only because no one's addled code enough to mess with him. Tell me about this Nestor. Nestor's that barmy old sod in the corner there. He hikes a thumb over his shoulder toward the back of the room. Watch your step around him, Burke. He's not right in the head. Always rattling his bone box about his fork and all. I wish someone would do us all a favor and gets rid of him. Never mind. Why don't you get rid of him yourself? You don't think I've tried? I have, and look what I get from me effort. He leans his face forward and points at the bleeding scabs on his nose. Barmy sod nearly bit me nose off. Never mind. How much for a bed? It'll cost you 5 coppers. He wipes his dirty hand on the front of his even dirtier shirt and thrusts it towards you, palm up. Give him 5 coppers. Rest.
I'm gone.
Nestor, you see an aging man in soiled and tattered clothes frantically pacing in the corner. A shock of filthy white hair sticks out in every direction, and his face, crusted with dirt and streaks of dried blood, is covered with gray stubble. Every few seconds he stops pacing and flails about suddenly, muttering and cursing as if assaulted by some unseen foe. He does not seem to notice your approach. Greetings. At the sound of your voice, the old loon whirls about face you, his wide, staring eyes bulging in their sockets. He regards you for a brief moment, then returns to his raving. No, no, no! It's not you! Woohoo! But soon. Yes, soon. Who are you talking to? The old man seems oblivious to your presence. Woohoo! You'll come. Yes, you'll come, and old Nestor will be waiting. You all right? No! Nestor's face turns beet red and his whole body shakes in protest. My fork! Can't leave without my fork! Woohoo! Fork, fork, fork. Your fork? Fork? Fork! Fork! Can't go home without my fork. Nestor's frenzy reaches a violent crescendo. He begins hopping up and down maniacally, then suddenly stops, lowers his head, and runs headlong into a large wooden cupboard that stands against the back wall of the flophouse. The force of the impact knocks the old man flat on his back. After a few seconds, he stands back up, a dazed expression on his face. Gone. Stolen. Can't go home without my fork. Stolen, you say? Who took your fork? Nestor stares at you for a long moment, then begins rummaging through the pockets of his filthy tunic. After a few seconds, he produces what appears to be a dismembered ear. Judging by the stench and color of the ear, you'd wager that the old loon has been toting it around in his pocket for some time. You have my fork, don't you? Don't you? Woohoo! He holds the ear close as if speaking to it. Bring back my fork. Maybe I can help you. Wait. Wait. Waiting. Woohoo! He shakes the ear violently as he shouts into it. Until you bring it back, then I can go home. Alright, I'll try to find your fork then. Farewell.
Updated my journal. I'm gone. Done.
This man is still whistling a cheerful tune while he fiddles with his wicked-looking knife. As you approach him, he stops whistling and gives you a bored glance. What now, eh? My name's Ratbone. Okay. Man named Pharod. He's nearby, though. Some of his lads come running through at times to make for some hidey hole that's who knows where. Somewhere up around those elevated platforms, I'll bet, but it's none of me business.
Damn it. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Die.
Did you see that?
Damn.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Die. I'm hurt.
What's up, Chief? Good
I'm
as
hurt.
Another trip to the mortuary. You know, Chief, you snore really loud.
Done.
You see a blockish woman dressed in a heavy burlap robe. She lumbers about the room, her joints popping as she bends over to pick up objects from the various tables. Her hair is bound back from her head with a bone hairpin, and she has a sour, curd-faced expression. She is mumbling to herself in a sing-song voice. Greetings. The woman doesn't appear to hear you. Instead, she stumbles back to one of the long tables and begins picking at one of the corpses. Come on now. She clicks her teeth. Don't be all difficult on Marta. He's being difficult, isn't he, Marta? Yes, he is. Watch what she's doing. From what you can see, it looks like she's digging teeth out of the corpse's mouth. With only her hands and fingernails. When that doesn't work, she pulls out a splintered wooden chisel and a mallet and thwacks the gums until the tooth snaps free, then puts it into a bag at her waist. Ignore Marta. The tub is filled with a mess of rotting body parts. They all look picked clean. Pile of foul-smelling body parts. Arms, legs, torsos, even the occasional head. They all look picked clean. You see a ragged man clad in patchwork clothes. He reeks of smoke and trash and has a yellowish cast to his skin. He looks askew at you. What do you want from me, Cutter? Just the answers to some questions. Make it fast, Cutter. I got mouths to feed. What are you doing?
All right.
Another trip to the mortuary.
Really?
Welcome back, Chief.
All right. I'm gone.
Wu Yin. You see a drab man with a perfectly moon-shaped face. He looks at you without expression and does not speak. Looks as though his voice would be as flat as a meadow. Greetings. I was hoping you could answer a few questions for me. What do you wish to know? Tell me of this place. I know nothing of it. I do not know this place. I have no name. I have no number. I have no memory of this place. I am cold. I am scared. This is strange to be so naked. Here I will die. What do you mean? I once lived in a land of metal machines and doors that opened at a word. I dream of the pristine metal cities and the empty shells that are our people. I had a number and a name there, and now I have neither. Like all my kind, they are all I have. They are all I have had of my own all my life. They were stolen from me. Without them I am nothing. I request your aid. I'll see what I can do. Answer some other questions for me. Tell me of yourself. Okay, who has your name and number? The one who used to be Radine. She stole them from me. I offered her the shelter of my name and number, and she stole them from me. They are mine lawfully and by right. Find her. She is in this village. I'll see what I can do.
Done. Done.
She is short, fat-faced man who is covered in filth and grime. He smells bad and his teeth are rotten. He wheezes as he looks you up and down and says, I'm Quint. You new? Yes. He looks at you suspiciously. Selling or trading? Trading. Or, yes. His eyes narrow even further. Dealing, eh? With me or everybody, Burke? Which, huh? With you. Just me? Yes, just with you. That's so, huh? Let's deal, huh? Alright.
Done.
The sour-faced, middle-aged man starts when you approach him and reaches for his belt. Finding no weapon there, he simply backs away from you. You can see that beneath his collector's robes, his lower legs and forearms are swathed in filth-encrusted bandages. What you want? Just answers to some questions. He nods but says nothing. Who are you? Name's Zuhir. So it is. He spits as if it mattered down here. Covered in bandages, what happened to you? Well, I got bit up a bit by a ghoul down below while I was looking about for stuff to sell off. Down below? He nods his head. Down in the catacombs where all the debtors is. Say, you going down there anytime? Perhaps. Why? Because I lost my lucky knife. He grunts angrily, stomping his foot. He's been with me for years, right here. Points to an empty sheath on his belt. So what happened to it? I was poking about in the catacombs below and ran smack into a ghoul. Must have been a straggler, because there's usually more than one. He bit at me face, so as I covered up with my arms and stabbed it in the eyes, it dropped and bit at me leg for a while before I shake the piker off and made it back up here. Quite a story. I'll bring back your knife if I see it down there.
Updated my journal.
Would you? I'd be grateful, so I would. It's got me name carved into the handle. I'm glad to help. Before you go, let me ask some questions. Forget it. Farewell. Okay. Oh, redeem. There you are. You see a woman with a lined face and drab clothing. Her eyes are far away, and there seems to be a new vitality rising up under her skin, as if she'd been given a new life. There's a patterned tattoo around her neck. She starts when you speak to her. What do you want? Just wanted to ask you some questions. Mayhap I got answers for you, and mayhap I don't. Tell me about yourself. Me? I got 2 names now, and I'll show you only one. Don't want you stealing the new one. Hee. Call me Redeem, pet, and I'll hold down this other name tight to myself, I will. I'll bet. Tell me about this place. Buried Village? Nice enough place, I suppose, if you don't mind the stench of corpses being torn open. Garbage heaped on the roof and the constant scurrying of rats around here. Much colder with only a name and no number to protect you, that's for sure. Tell me about the number. This squirmy thing? It's an identifying number. It's my number, gave to me by a kind man who saw me cold without the protection of numbers to back me up. Now I got it, and I'm happier than ever before. That man wants it back now. Voice grows shrill. Well, he can't have him. He offered him to me, and I kept him. He never said nothing about no loan of him, and he never said he needed him back. He ain't getting him. You can go tell him so. He really needs a name. You could tell him he can have mine. The name Radine should be good enough for anyone. How about I'll let him know. Farewell. Have you located the woman with my name and number? She will tell you she won the name from me, but she did not. She stole it. I require my name and number. She's in the village somewhere. I have. She doesn't want to give it up. Else for a moment. She must. They are mine. She stole them from me. I request your assistance. You're getting it. I require assistance. Any assistance you give me will be remembered with gratitude. Please help. Farewell. She looks blankly as you return, and then shakes herself out of her daze. As she does, the tattoo around her neck squirms. You again, eh, Cutter? I tell you, I won't give you the name and number back. Tell you what, using this name and numbers increases me fortunes. I'll pay good money for it, and he can buy himself a new one. How's that? Don't think that'll cut it. Give me the name and number. How about a nice 20 coins? That should tide the wee dear over till he can get a new set, eh? Be a dear and go ask him if that's what he wants for it. Just give me the name and number, or I'll have to rip them out of you. Trust me, you don't want that. She shrinks under your threat. And here he told me the number would protect me from evil men. Take the damn thing, then, and have done with it. She tears the writhing tattoo from her throat, taking a good bit of skin with it, hurtles at you, and flees. Let her go. The despondent man looks up to you, a glimmer of hope in his eyes, yet he speaks as motionlessly as ever. Has she given you my name and number? She has offered money, has she not? I cannot live. Money means nothing without a name. Get me my name. Has she given it? His eyes crawl across your face, watching intently. Yes, she has. May I have them? Yes. Your name is Ku Yin. Take your number. I thank you for my name and number. Yes, Ku Yin. Yes, but no. I now realize I no longer require a number here. I will find myself a new number, if necessary. I give you my old number. It can help you. It is a mantle of law. It is protection. You accept it? Yes. Let it warm you. Trust in it. It will protect you. Farewell. He turns and begins to walk away from you.
Updated my journal.
Wait, add a few more questions. What are you doing? Preparing to face this new world with my old identity. Now that I know there are hidden pitfalls, I intend to discover what I can. I am ready now. Good luck. Farewell.
I'm gone.
The number of Kuyin. This is a tattoo of a number, an intricate weaving of ink and flesh. It is the scorns when held as if it sought out a host. It is the number of Kuyin, a personal identifier that radiates law. When applied, the tattoo works itself into the skin of its owner, protecting it against the depredations of strongly chaotic creatures. It cannot be used by someone of chaotic alignment. Small candles giving off anemic light. You see a burly man with a slack jaw. The spark of intelligence is, in his eyes, little more than a brief flare. Tell me about the buried village. Not talk strangers. Looks away from you, rubbing his hand. Alright, tell me about yourself. He blinks at you. Who are you? Ojo. Okay, Ojo, I had some questions for you. Ojo just stares. What are you doing? Ojo, talk. He stops abruptly and begins massaging his hand. Examine his hand. There is a small inflamed scab on his skin. As you watch, he peels the scab away again. What happened to your hand? Bit. Who bit you, Ojo? He looks at the wall and looks back at you. Man in wall. There's a man in the wall? Looks at the wall and then looks back at you. What does the man in the wall say? Tells about Crying Stone Place. Tells stories. I tell stories too. Stories about what? Looks at the wall and falls silent. Alright then, tell me about the man in the wall again. What wall is he in? He points at a wall. You notice a small hole in it. Upon closer examination, you see that the hole is ragged, as if it had been chewed out by a rat. Is the man in the wall a rat? Nods. Oh. Thanks, Ojo. Farewell.
Done.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Pharod. Before he was an elderly man leaning heavily upon a crutch. His left leg is twisted as if he tried to walk two directions at once and paid the price. His maggoty-colored skin is bunching heavily upon his skull and is flecked with liver spots. He's mumbling and smacking his lips as his eyes make a circuit of the room.
Updating my
Greetings.
journal.
Aha! The man's eyes light up as he hears your voice. "'Tisn't my steady crop of jink come to Pharod's waiting arms again. Greetings, corpse." He smiles a wicked grin. "Have you come to ask Pharod for another jaunt into the mortuary walls?" "Pharod, I've come for information. I've been told that you know something about me." "Know something about you?" The light in Pharod's eyes dims. He studies you, mumbling slightly as his eyes flicker up and down your frame. "Corpse? No? Yes?" His eyes meet yours. "Ah. No. Pharod, what is it?" Pharod's studying you with a dead even gaze. "'Tisn't a mummer's fare, corpse. No time for games, no time for Pharod to play the wheel. What are you asking such questions for? I have forgotten myself, and I was told to seek you out, that you would know something of me." "Yeah?" Pharod licks his lips. They make a rasping sound, like dry parchment on sand. "Now who told you such a thing, corpse?" "Well, no one told me exactly. There were these tattoos on my back. They told me to seek you out if I ever forgot myself." So little said, so much told. Pharod falls silent, and suddenly you have a feeling that Pharod is dissecting you, like a corpse on a mortuary slab. I know much you would know. Much, yes. Much indeed. Pharod smiles slowly, the folds of flesh on his face peeling back like a curtain. What do you know of me? Pharod licks his lips, then settles himself upon his crutch, like a vulture. No, no, not free, the question you ask. His pasty white hands tap the edge of his crutch. Much I can tell you, but the telling has a cost. Go on, Pharod. Pharod taps the flagstones with his crutch and sneers. This village is not all that lies buried beneath Ragpicker Square. Yes. Chambers, vaults, corridors, filled with the dead, all asleep in their coffins. Somewhere in those halls, somewhere there lies something misplaced. Something mine. What is it? A small thing, a trinket, such as a trifle. As Pharod speaks, his words start echoing as if two people are speaking. You know you've heard them before, from your own lips. It's a sphere, made of bronze, ugly, feels like an egg to the touch, and it smells of rotten custard. Am I right? Pharod falls deathly silent for a moment, then nods. Yes. How much do you hide from me, corpse? He chuckles. Did you return to see if I remember what it is I want? You know where the sphere is? Ah. Pharod sighs like shifting sand. And why do you suppose I ask you to look for it, corpse? I do not know where it is. I know it is buried deep, far deeper than any villager has ever gone. Pharod tisks. It may be in the catacombs where the waters run deep. Deep. Very well, I'll do it, but I want to know what I'm buying with this trinket. There's a lot of knowing rattling around in my brain box, corpse. He holds up a withered finger. One of them is this bit of wisdom. Everyone wants something, whether they know it or not. There is much I know about you, much that you would want to know. Very well. I will see about finding this sphere for you in exchange for what you know. I can't risk. I'm not even gonna bluff. Very well. A deal struck, deal made. Rod cracks his crutch sharply against the flagstones. A sphere for a peek inside my brain box. Now, corpse, there is no time to waste. Go to the gate at the south and east and tell those slumbering fools to open it for you. Make haste. Make haste. Very well. I will go to the gate now and enter the catacombs.
Updated my journal. All right. Done.
Bar. You see a massive human dressed in cast-off patchwork clothing and reeking of old ale. It's truly huge. It's obvious he was chosen for this job for his brawn, not his brains. What do you want? Rod gave me his leave to go down to the catacombs. I need you to open the gate. He swings open the gates. Then get going, Burke, and don't waste your time. The gate's not locked right now, so there's no need to bother me. Okay.
I'm gone.
The guard straightens up. You got... It's what Pharod wanting, Burke? Not yet. You don't have it. Why are you wasting my time? The guard chores himself. I don't have it, but I do have something you might be interested in. Yeah, what might that be? Jink. How'd you like 10 coins? I don't think so. That's 25 coins down. You're getting warm, Burke, but you ain't there yet. Forget it. Yes, show it to me, Burke, and I'll raise the gate, but not until, right? That's 50 copper sound. Smile wreathed his ugly face. That's good enough. Pass it through and I'll open the gate. Have him reach for it. Grab it and it's yours. Reach through the gate for the coins and you hold out. Grab his arm and pin it. You deftly pin his arm back against the gate and wrench it. The guard screams in agony as his arm creaks in his socket. Let me in or I'll break it off. He hastens to open the gate before you make good on your threat and stands far out of your reach as you pass through the gate. You ever cross me again and they'll be picking your limbs out of 3 different crypts. Understood? Good. As you enter the room, a large, heavy-set man gets up from his chair and approaches you. Hello there. Name's Bish. Who might you be? My name is Adon. What? Bish stares blankly at you, then shakes his head. Never seen you before, and Pharod didn't tell me about no Adon coming around. You notice his hand moving slowly towards his weapon. You best be telling me what you're doing here, Burke. Perhaps Pharod's confidence in you does not extend as far as you might think. Bish snorts at you. Well, you tell him he'd best be readjusting those thoughts if he expects my men and me to keep watch over this bleeding sinkhole. He sheathes his weapon and motions at a trapdoor located on the floor. On with ya. Oh god, it crashed again. Alright. Be right back. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
All right.
I was playing and didn't realize I hadn't switched back. So I went back.
All right.
Alright, speed through this.
Updated my journal.
Okay.
Updated my journal.
Okay. Jesus.
Done.
Okay. Name is done.
Done.
Damn it.
Die. All right.
It just occurred to me that woman at the beginning with the tail was an alley south and west of there where I got ambushed. God damn it. Okay. Is that so? And where have you traveled from, then? To Death's kingdom and back, I think. The woman spits once, twice, 3 times, then makes a semicircle over her heart. Where would you say, child? And pray one of the dead powers don't take offense at your words. Let's see, who are you? With a sly cackle, she wags her eyebrows. Have you not heard of old Mebeth, then, the midwife of the square? Have you not now? She narrows her eyes and her voice drops. Well, now you have, for I be Mebeth. You're a midwife? What do you
Updated my
do?
journal.
I set bones right, drive the cough out of the sick, yank out squealing, stubborn babes, mend cloaks, or a rag or two. Make cures and herbs and other such. She squints at you, studying your scars. Be needing a cure or 3, do you then? Cures? Aye, you be needing some cures to look at you. You want to buy some, do you? She glances at the scars covering your body again, then shrugs. You're late to be asking for them, I think. I see, I must take my leave. Farewell.
I'm gone. All right.
5 coppers. Rest until morning.
Done.
Mar. Your first impression of Mar is that he needs a long bath, preferably away from any creature that has any sense of smell. You can almost see the stench waft from his body in sinister yellow tendrils. He motions towards you frantically in an effort to get you to come over and talk to him. Approach him and hear what he has to say. Look of excitement crosses his face as you approach. Thank you for stopping. My name is Mar, and I have a favor to ask of you. I'm listening. This is a matter of life or death. I must be delivering this in here box, or it'd be me head for sure. 'Tis me bad luck that I twisted me leg something fierce. So will you help me out by delivering this here box for me? No. Okay. Brace yourself for the stench you approach, Mar. You be doing Mar a favor, yes? Box you need be delivering for me. Why do you need me to deliver this package for you? Alright, fine. Mar slowly takes out a small box from within the recesses of his ragged clothing. For the briefest of moments, you see a look of regret cross his face. Then it is gone as he looks at you and hands you the box. A slight shimmer surrounds the box as both you and Mar touch it. A sigh of relief is heard as Mar releases the box into your care. What now? This be needing to be delivered to Quatra. Can usually be found somewhere down in the southeastern section of the hive. Oh, unless you try to say I didn't warn you. Whatever happens, don't open the box! And don't leave the hive with the box. Now be off with you. I'll be back when I deliver the box.
My journal.
Farewell.
Come on, Trevor, come on in here. You want to sleep outside? It's cold out here. Come on inside, we got a warm bed.
Shalandra. Blast, I almost had it that time. Don't you know it's dangerous to interrupt spellcasters while they are evoking a spell? Luckily for you, I was only practicing. Well, what is it you want? My apologies for disturbing you. Farewell. Yet another interruption! Person cannot even find privacy within one's own home. Please leave before I summon the guards, but yet I'll try out a new spell I've been toying with. Alright.
All right.
This obsidian monument has names chiseled on it. Quentin. The man before you looks to be a middle of height in years. He is stout with a thick, bullish neck, and his shoulders are hunched, as if a great weight was pressing upon them. He wears an impatient look as he stares at the black monolith in front of him. Greetings. The man throws you a glance. There's your room, Cutter. No need to ask my leave to stand here. Actually, I wanted to know what this monolith was. It's a tombstone for the plains. He scoffs. Graveyards of names are scratched on that rock. I can only hope my name's the one that'll split this stone in twain. He points at the base of the monolith. Quentin, right there, hammered in just hard enough to send the damn thing crashing down. Tombstone for the plains? Aye. Quentin smiles ruefully. The Dusties scratch the names of the dead on this monument here. He gestures around him. And on the walls of this place. Not enough space by my reckoning, but no matter. They do their best. You can barely read half the names. What are you doing here? Reading the new arrivals. Try and find a new one every day. Try and remember if I knew him. Nothing more. Dustmen record the names of all that have died on this monument? Aye, they scratch them on this rock, scratch them on the walls in this place too, Quentin scoffs. Don't know why they take the trouble to take accounting of the dead. The Dusties have more care for the living. Living? Aye. You know about the dustmen mourners that come to this place? They aren't mourning the dead, see? They're mourning the living. You can barely get a word in them edgewise without them asking to mourn some poor living Burke for you. Why do they mourn the living? You got me there, Cutter. He shrugs. Might want to put the question to them. Seems to me the dead are thrice worth the pity of any poor sod living in this pit. He nods at the monument. Every name on there is blessed in my book, it is. I see. You see a haggard woman wrapped in rags. Her hair is disheveled and dirty, and her complexion is extremely dark. Burns cover her arms, and her right hand is a fused lump of flesh. It looks melted like wax exposed to a great heat.
Updated my journal.
Greetings. What is it you want to me? The woman's accent is thick, and you are having difficulty making out what she is saying. You wanted me to leave? Not leaving this city, so I'm not. I can't. I tried. It's not a city. It's a prison. It's everywhere. Everywhere? There's worlds. There's... Eyes gleam madly. Plains that be sinking sands, fields thirsty nettles be, sightless worlds where your limbs are given life and hate, cities of dust whose people are dust and worship ash, and whisper ash, the house without doors, the twilight lands, the singing winds, the singing winds. She starts to sob quietly, but she seems all out of tears. Shadows, terrible shadows there be. Where are these places? Where's them places? She flings the lump of her right hand in an arc, gesturing at the cityscape. They's all here be. Doors, here to everywhere. Doors? You're not knowing this? She squints at you and her teeth start chattering. Tell you I will. Beware every space you walk through or touch in this thrice cursed city. Doors, gates, arches, windows, picture frames, the open mouth of a statue, the spaces between shelves. Beware any space bounded on all sides. All of these are doors to other places. What do you mean? Every door has a key, it does, and with this key they show their true nature. An arch becomes a portal, a picture frame becomes a portal, a window becomes a portal, all eager to take you someplace else. Steal you away. She raises the lump of her right hand. Sometimes what's on the other side takes part of you as a tithe. What are these keys? The keys? The keys number as many as the doors of this city. Every door a key. Every key a door. Keys start chattering again, as if she's cold. And a key is anything. It may be an emotion, an iron nail held between your second and fifth fingers, a thought 3 times, then thought once in reverse, or it may be a glass rose. And these are all keys that open these doors?
Updated my journal.
Yes, her teeth start chattering. She clenches her mouth closed and squints her eyes. Yes, can't leave. How did you get here?
Updated my journal.
From... She seems to calm slightly, and her eyes take on a 1,000-league stare. Came from a place else from here, almost a life ago. Hummed a tune by a glade with 2 dead trees that had fallen together. A brilliant door opened in the space between the crushed trees, showing me the city on the other side. I stepped through, ended here. Why can't you go back? Tried. She tries to sob again, but no tears come. Tried. All doors here lead to other places. She shudders and grips her melted right hand. Went through thrice 10 portals, some a purpose, some a accident. None of them right. Can't find way back. There must be a portal that could take you back. Can't even leave here, this square. And there, the place of death behind the gate waits for me. She points at the mortuary behind the gate and turns back to you, her face desperate. Can't go anywhere in this city. You can't go anywhere? What do you mean? Anything could be a door. Any arch there, any door here could be a portal. Don't know the key. Could get us sent to another horrible place. She starts chattering again. Gotta stay away from the closed spaces. All could be doors. Could have a key on me and I not be knowing it. You're afraid to go through any door or arch because it might be a portal? She nods, her teeth chattering. How long have you been afraid of this? She squints. Since the last time I walked through the last portal, the place where my hand... She stops. It's my 10th turning. I'm in me 4th, 10th turning that now. Teeth began chattering. 30 years? You haven't walked through any door for 30 years? Her vision seems to clear slightly. She looks up at you, her teeth still chattering. If you got here, there must be a portal that can take you back. It's only a matter of finding it. She smiles. Her teeth aren't chattering because she is cold. They are moving around inside her mouth, her gums twisting as the teeth shift about. They rise and recede as you watch, fluttering as they rattle against each other. What the fuck? What? She hisses at you. Only takes one portal you steps through accident to drive the fear into you. I went through thrice 10, lost my hand, burned my flesh, and lost my senses. She looks at her feet. No more. No more. Sorry. If I can find some means to help you, I will. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Sevtai, this woman's face looks broken and she is covered in scars. They look like bite marks and fingernail cuts. She's cradling the shreds of several rags in her hands, staring emptily at the wall of the monument. The name's there. Not at the moment. Oh.
Done.
You again. I thought I told you not to bother me. I was told to deliver this box to you. Well, why didn't you say so in the first place? Let's see what you got for me. I'm sure it'll need to be inventoried. Mara told me to give this to you. She held the box out for him to take. Quatcher's expression turns from one of interest to that of intense horror. No, please, get it away from me. Don't understand. Why are you afraid of this box? Said, get back. Death. Evil. Had to do Mar. Couldn't take it anymore. Please. Take to Braskin. Lives southwest. Hive. Oh! Apparently the side of the box is just too much for him as he runs screaming from the building. Wait, what am I supposed to do with...
Updated my journal. Done.
Okay, what can I solve this guy? Whispering Flask. This container holds a peculiar powder called Whispering Motes, loose translation of the Gith expression, form of healing powder, commonly used by the Githsari in the plane of Limbo.
Come in, Basher. Look here, look
What's
here.
up?
The finest Toledo blades.
Okay.
All right. I'm gone.
In a loud, booming voice, Braskin asks, "What in the name of the abyss are you doing with my house? Leave now before I make you even more ugly than you already are. I was asked to deliver this box into your care." Well, why didn't you say so? So hand it over and you can be on your way. As you present the box to Braskin, his expression changes from one of anticipation to that of amusement. Oh, there, I won't fall for that trick a second time. Put that thing away and leave. I don't understand. Why won't anyone take this box? First Quatra and now you. Did you say Quatra? Braskin lets out a brief bellow of laughter. Why, that's the fellow who bought the box off me. Thought he got the best of me when he bought it. I guess he figured the gem alone was more than worth the price he paid me. Poor fellow didn't realize what he'd gotten himself into until it was too late. Just what's so horrible about this box? You mean you really don't know anything about that box you're holding? Well, I guess it won't hurt to tell you what I know. First off, so you don't get any ideas in your head, the person in that box only affects the current owner of the box, and to be the owner of the box, you have to willingly take possession of it. There goes the idea of just leaving the box for someone else to find, so... What's in the box? Now that is a good question. That box has been around the hive since anyone can remember. There are many rumors flying about. As you can imagine, over time the truth has been warped a little bit further with each retelling of the story. Go on. I've heard many a story about that box, and they all seem to have a recurring theme. The name given to that foul thing is Morador's box, and the owner of the box will die should he or anyone else open it. As to the contents, who knows? Some say it's an ancient dragon, while others say it's the evil soul of Morador himself. I cannot tell for sure, but just by looking at it, any soul could tell it's something evil. One would have to be a fool to open it. What am I supposed to do with it? I would suggest you go see Shalandra. She lives in the northeastern region of the hive. It was from her that I won the box. Who knows, maybe she will have more knowledge of what to do with it. Or you could find some other clueless Burke to take it off your hands. It's up to you. I wish you luck.
Updated my journal.
Farewell.
All right. All right. I'm gone.
And yet another interruption. A person can... Okay, I wish to learn more about this box. Hold out Morador's box for Shalandra to examine. Ah, yes, I remember this box well. I acquired it some time ago. What do you wish to know about it? Who'd you get this from? Let me think. I don't recall whom I got it from. I just remember I was down in the marketplace looking for some spell components, but some person offered me this box. After testing the box, I found it to be cursed. I was intrigued by the spells woven into the box, and so I purchased it anyway. You were so intrigued by the box, what made you decide to give it away? I was young and brash back then. In my relentless pursuit of knowledge, I carelessly undid one of the spells. Looked closely at the box. It was like new when I had it. Signs of decay are an indication the spells are weakening. I realized I was in danger if I kept the box any longer, so I held a contest to get rid of it. Contest? It was the most expedient way to rid myself of it. I simply invited all the bashers in the hive to fight each other to determine who was the best. Bashers are notorious for having big muscles and not much upstairs. You know what I mean. They came like flies to honey. I offered some money and the box as a prize. I believe some basher named Braskin won the contest. More questions to ask. You know the history behind this box? The only thing I've been able to learn is its name. It's called Morador's box. As to who this Morador is or the origins of the box, I do not know. You seem to know something about magic. Can you tell me what spells have been put on this box? For many years, I studied the box and tried to learn its secrets. Spell upon spell upon spell has been woven into it. To my amazement, my studies revealed that all the spells are of the type used to confine fiends. Fiends? You mean there are fiends trapped within this box? No, not fiends. A fiend. Judging by the sophistication and power of these spells, it would have to be one of significant standing and power in its realm. Can you safely remove the spells on this box? Seeking to remove yourself from the box, huh? That spell is the worst of them all. Basically, that particular spell draws energy from the current owner of the box and uses it to power one of the spell's confinement. That isn't the worst of it. The fiend inside can smell this energy and would more than likely hunt down that person should it escape. Really a no-win situation to own that box. Either it drains you drive your energy or the fiend within kills you. Let's see. Is there a way to safely dispose of Morador's box without hurting anyone? I am not strong enough to fight or banish such a creature. It's been ages since I've been there. There was a cathedral located in the middle of the Alley of Dangerous Angles. A priest or someone who gains their power from a higher source might be able to help you. Been a great
Updated
help.
my journal.
Thanks.
I'm gone.
Oh, wait. You see Bane the Senders. You approach, he looks at you hopefully. Were you successful in finding Craddock, good sir? Yes, and I passed along your message, although it didn't seem to please him
Updated
any.
my journal.
Bane doesn't seem to have heard any word after yes, for he smiles and heaves a sigh of relief. Good fortune indeed. Thank you, good sir, thank you. He reaches into his robe and pulls forth a handful of coppers, which he counts out then hands to you. 45 commons for delivering a message, eh? Fair enough. Oh, more than fair, good sir, more than fair. I can see without hesitation that there is no finer profession in all Sigil than that of a runner for the House of Senders. I'll keep that in mind. Farewell, Bane. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's where I'm going to end it. Alright, so that's some good progress. I found Pharod, and now I'm gonna... Before I go down to those catacombs, I want to level up, expand my party, just to... on the off chance there's something terrible down there, which is actually probable. So, yeah, that's it. I will be back on Monday with more of Planescape Torment. So, I will see you all then. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and have a good weekend. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.